you like me to restart recording? I'm going to tell all your viewers. I'm like, couldn't swear.
Hey Revay,
Hello.
how goes it?
It goes well. How goes it for you?
It goes okay. Friday feeling, you know, just trying to.
It's a good Friday today.
It is? Really?
Yeah.
Not like Easter, but.
No, not like Easter, Good Friday. I mean, shout out to God, but not not Easter, Good Friday.
Alright, fair enough. So, there are going to be some people who don't know who you are. People just wondering who the hell is.
Yeah.
Like, pigtails, like, what's her story?
They're like, who is this girl?
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so let's get into that. Who are you?
Who's am I?
Exactly.
Well, I'm Revay. I'm a law student,
Right?
kind of vibey,
Okay.
just living life,
Fair.
trying to be, best person I can be.
Amen to that.
Amen.
And what keeps you busy at the moment?
At the moment, work, legal intern, working.
How's that going?
It's going good. I'm really enjoying myself.
When
I'm
did you
not
start?
really like a corporate law person,
Right.
but just the experience in like a law firm is very interesting.
When did you get into that?
I got into it, I think, in March.
Why?
Yeah. What do you mean why?
What is the reason?
The reason.
Voice.
What's the reason? I wanted the experience. I feel like a lot of careers that you pick, sometimes you pick them just based on what you think the career is like. So sometimes you actually have to go in and see what it's like. Because I wasn't really sure about law, and I was transferring universities. So I was like, let me actually see if law is what I want to do while I have this opportunity to pick again. So, yeah.
So what would you say has been your biggest take from that experience so far?
My biggest take would be like, one thing, law is definitely, it's very hard having your own issues and then having to go into an office and start dealing with other people's issues and leave yours behind.
Yeah.
But it's very fulfilling. But that's why I say I'm not really into corporate law, because that's more money-based, which is no problem. Some people are into that.
Yeah.
But I think public law is more for me because, you make more of an impact on actual people's lives. So.
Fair enough. Are there any other crossroads you're thinking of going on as career-wise?
More like the NGO direction. I feel like that's the end goal.
Really?
Yeah, to have like an NGO for like girls' education.
That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Talk a bit more
Just
about
like the
what's the
owner.
inspiration for that.
The inspiration for that, I feel I've seen a lot of situations, especially in homes, and I don't think people talk about it, because even in privileged homes, you'll find where girls will be told, you don't really have to go to uni. Like, you really could just, stay home, wait for a husband. It can really move like that. While boys are very much encouraged, like, yeah, we'll find the fees somewhere, you're going to go to uni. So I want to make an opportunity for girls who are in situations like that, where someone's not willing to pay fees for you, because they're like, you don't have to go to tertiary education.
Do you find that somewhat disrespectful?
It's very disrespectful, because you're sort of making a choice for someone who's old enough to make a choice for themselves.
Very true.
Because there's nothing wrong with not going to uni. Uni is not made for everyone.
Yeah.
But if I want to do that and you're saying I can't because I'm a girl, because there's other things I could be doing, it's a bit rude.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, and right now with the women's world and the way we're moving, how do you think that will play out as far as you aligning yourself with, I guess, like-minded women?
I think it would play out well. I feel like nowadays there's very few people who would actually be like, oh, women shouldn't be educated.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Neanderthal thinking type vibes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not to be offensive, but genuinely, like, I really don't see the logic behind thinking that someone shouldn't be educated. You can have your education and still be a housewife or take care of your kids and, like, do all those other stuff. Yeah.
So education seems really important to you.
It is. I've met people who have said education actually saved their lives. Like, without education, they literally don't know where they'd be.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And as far as, being educated and being exposed, what is your take on social media right now?
Social media. I mean, I can't really, say negative things about social media, because I'm a very big social media user. I use it a lot, but I think you have to use it in moderation as well and know what you're using it for.
Some people rely on it as a source of education, though.
Exactly. Like, some people learn from YouTube. You can learn a lot. Like, I usually crochet, and a lot of the things that I make, I have to go onto YouTube to make them. Yeah. And just like that, someone could really start a small business doing that.
Very true.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking social media and education, but also people who are educated about you know your social media use is a bit, it's a bit out there. So go on then. Oh, Revay. Let's talk about that. Oh, you well, I wouldn't say you're a giant, but you're not exactly a midget either.
I'd say micro.
You're micro influencer, or an influencer, or micro.
Do I influence people though?
Well, I mean, entertainment.
I'd say I'm a micro user of the app.
Micro user with substantial following.
I guess if you would call that substantial, yeah.
You call your following non-substantial? Like,
I don't really look at it much if I'm being very honest.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think you're unimportant or insignificant, right?
I wouldn't say I'm insignificant, but I go on there for me. Like, I don't go on there for validation or to be like, how many likes did I get on this video?
Right.
Yeah, I just go there to post, have a good time.
And what is it that you create on post and have a good time?
Well, you're talking about TikTok specifically.
I mean, yeah, of course. TikTok is the app right now, isn't it?
Yeah. On TikTok, I really just do a lot of different things, mostly just based on like what's happening in my life at the moment.
Okay.
So if you scroll on my TikTok, you see there was a good 2 months where it was straight euphoria.
Let's talk about why was euphoria so significant to you?
Usually when I say this, people are always like, what? Because I'm like, oh, euphoria was very relatable. And they're like, are you on drugs? And I'm like, no. It was just relatable based on like the emotions that the characters were going through and, some of the issues that they were dealing with were like kind of hitting home a bit. So I was like, I really like the show and how they touched on those topics.
So do you find like multimedia is sort of an outlet for you sometimes?
Oh, definitely. Like,
right.
Definitely.
And euphoria definitely like grew on some strings.
Definitely. Euphoria helped me deal with a lot of things that I was trying to avoid thinking about.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you realize like your videos or even just a video on social media that's seen by someone else that isn't you can like help someone?
In the beginning, I didn't realize it because that's what I was using TikTok for. I was going through my own things and I was like, I kind of don't want to think right now. I was like, let me go on social media. And that's when TikTok just started like blowing up, like beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
So then I got on there again for myself because I was like, I'm just trying to distract myself, not think, because there was no uni going on. COVID just started. Online learning hadn't really started going at that point. So like I was stuck at home. And then after a while, like you're saying, my following started growing. And then I'd go out. And people would be like, hey, aren't you that girl? And I'd be like, me? You sure you're talking to me? And I'm like, no, maybe you think of someone else. I'm like, Topple, maybe. They're like, no.
I'm serious.
So then after that, I was kind of like, oh, it's one thing to see numbers on like your phone,
right?
But to like feel the numbers is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I realized, I was like, maybe I should actually like not really moderate what I'm posting, but just be aware of what I'm posting. Because I was like, okay, like some kids actually come to my page.
It's true, some 10-year-olds is looking
at some 10-year-old is looking at my page. And I can't be there like, dancing to WAP, like, oh, you're 10, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but personally for me, I was like, yeah. Most of the people who come to me are kids. That's why I was like, oh.
Mad.
Yeah.
Even I recognize you from TikTok.
Are you a kid?
I mean, I'm alright. I've been better, I've been worse. Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw you, I'm not going to disclose where and when, but I was like, TikTok. In my head, it just ran. And I think I saw the video, but I just remembered you were Euphoria girl. I was like, why is this girl
Euphoria
obsessed with
girl.
Euphoria? It's like every time you see it's Euphoria, I'm like, I think I actually watched the show because of you. So
wow, you're welcome, by the way.
That show was trash, but...
Personal opinion.
Yeah, no, beauty's in the eye.
True.
But yeah, I mean, I recognize you on social media, and then I think TikTok, as you mentioned, during the COVID breakdown, definitely mushroomed.
Yeah.
So I want to take us back to like that experience. How was living in lockdown for you?
Living in lockdown, terrible. I mean, like, I'm not going to be the person who's like, oh, I learned so much during lockdown. It was terrible. I hated every minute of it.
Really?
Yeah.
And how do you think social media took to that? Did it help you? Was it like
It helped me because I was at a point where like I wasn't really trying to deal with my emotions.
Right.
So the same way I was taking it, like media really helps me with that. So like on TikTok, I was sort of like forcing myself to be happy because it's very weird if you look sad in a video.
Quite true.
Yeah. So even if I'm making like a funny video, I'd have to look happy. And they say sometimes like you have to force a smile and then eventually you start smiling.
Yeah.
That's basically what TikTok did.
That's a bit sad, though. But I found like the lockdown severed a lot of ties. Did you manage to actually connect with some of your friends or like keep connections?
Keep connections. Yeah, I did. Sever connections, not so much. I'm not really like a big like person who looks for friends.
Right.
Yeah. I like to make friends like organically.
So do you think your friendships were stronger during lockdown? Outside of it?
I kind of isolated myself from my friends.
Mad.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Because I wanted to be by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, went into their shells.
Yeah.
Lockdown. I think for me, I'd actually started a podcast 2 years ago because of lockdown. And just having that space and place to express myself.
Yeah.
So, like you with TikTok. But obviously, you got a lot more traction, a lot more relevance.
I mean, when you met me, I was also like, hey, kulturedkhun?
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but obviously people who know, who don't.
Yeah.
But I think, I'm talking in terms of relevancy, like with TikTok, is there any direction or for you it was literally just therapy? Are you trying to...
It literally was just therapy. And I feel like it still is.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's no like vision or mission?
None at all.
Freestyle?
I really do see TikTok as a hobby, and I've had people ask me like, oh, like, do you want to like make this into like a job? And I'm like, maybe along the way, if the opportunity presents itself, maybe, but I'm not really sitting there making TikToks thinking I need this much engagement, I need to make money, I need people to see me. I'm really just like, this is funny, I'm gonna post that.
That's fair enough. And what do you think of people who want like every bit of attention they to get to be monetized, like trying to take every social
it's
media
allowed.
seriously?
Everyone has their own goals. So if that's what you want to do and that's your passion, it only makes sense for you to want the engagement, because that's how you're gonna get to where you want to go.
Very true.
Yeah.
And have you noticed like more people taking to social media?
Yeah.
Since lockdown?
Yeah. Yeah.
More of like your associates, or is it more people you just...
Well, my friends are really more like me, so social media, like, they're already on there.
Right.
But yeah, I think a lot of people who are very much against social media, well, not against it. You know what? There was a point when people were like, oh, I'm at a certain age where I can't really be doing social media like that anymore.
Yeah.
But now, especially with TikTok, you see a lot of people who are like in like their late 20s, early 30s, even like old people enjoying themselves. Have you seen that old couple who like dance on
white,
TikTok?
black.
White, and they're like amazing. I love their videos. But it's just like, yeah, you can understand that social media is for everyone,
So
not
it
just
is
for young
positive.
people. Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's very positive.
Some people think it's very negative, screen time and everything.
That's why I say it depends on what you're using it for.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And as far as what we're talking about, connections with family, friends, what about your love life? How's social media impacted that?
I get some very weird message requests. That's
Is it?
yeah. I mean, I'm usually like the type of person, I respond to people. If you message me, I really will try my best to respond. If you come with the right energy.
What does that mean?
If you come, if you want to be friendly, respectful, that's fine. I'll reply to you. That's no problem.
It's a lot of expectations for a DM.
Well, no. It's a simple, if you come saying hi, I'm not gonna not
I
respond.
doubt you respond to that. I doubt.
Okay. Listen, yeah.
Yeah?
I like interesting people.
Okay.
And I also don't like small talk.
Whoa.
I really don't like small talk. If I could avoid small talk, I really would.
You can't exactly jump to like family history.
I mean,
First message.
True. But you come with something, hit me with like a punchline.
I did.
Come with a joke.
Come cringe.
Yeah, sometimes it might even be cringe. Like the other day,
Yeah.
I think I posted something about how I really liked Santa and Dave, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then someone sent me a DM and they were like, Jordan 4s or Jordan 1s. And I was like, you see, a bit cringy, but that caught my attention. I'm going to
Did you
respond.
respond?
Yes, I did.
What'd you say?
I was like, Rolex says I have more than one.
Just finish the lyric.
Yeah.
Cute. You see, you're doing TikTok challenges in real life.
No. I don't want to be that person.
But you just were.
No, like the people who literally like speak in TikTok.
Mad. No.
I don't want to be that person.
So, have you ever shot your shot via socials?
No.
You don't shoot your shot?
No. There's
Not even
nothing wrong
this
with
year?
women shooting the shot. Personally, for me, my ego simply can't allow it.
Really? What,
Yeah.
in case you miss?
Yeah, I'm scared of rejection deeply. So shout out to men, because men get rejected a lot.
For all the men you've rejected, yeah? Shout out to them.
Shout out to you guys. I'm sorry, but it had to be done.
What do you think social media has done as far as leveling the playing field
For
between genders?
between genders.
Do you think it has, or it's like put an imbalance between?
I think it has. Well, there is an imbalance, but not in the way people think. I feel like social media is favored more towards women.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Could you expand?
I mean, it's easier. I feel like it's easier for women to blow up on like a social media platform, depending on what you're posting.
So long as you show some skin.
Well, there's that as well. But even like, there's a difference between a regular-looking guy making a joke and a pretty girl making the same joke. People are probably gonna want to watch the girl more.
You're right. But even when you talked about people approaching you in the DM, I think also want to talk about how one guy can be creepy and another guy's confident.
Yeah.
Depending on your outlook of them.
Yeah.
So, how? I mean, obviously there's guys who are wondering, like, how do you guys make the distinction? Because two guys can say the same thing, but guy A is a creep and guy B is
what? Let me not lie. I'm a very honest person, guys. Usually when people send me messages, I go to your page.
So Revay, unfortunately technical difficulties.
I'd like to state that was not my fault.
One Zambia, one nation, one self-in tower,
one kun,
one TV station. You know, a Zim friend actually told me that.
Really?
Quite cringe, but he was white. Never mind it.
White Zim guys are a different breed.
Hey man, you said Zim guys are the ones, no?
I love Zim guys.
Let's talk about Zim guys. Go on. What do you like about
Zim men? Really? I love you.
Really? Is it the Shona or is it the what?
No, it's not even the Shona.
What is it?
It's the Sadza.
It's the Sadza.
No, it's the energy. I don't know.
They move different.
Yeah, Zim guys love to take care of the women. Unfortunately, they like more than one woman most of the time.
Hey man, they've got
Which,
enough love
to
share.
To each their own. If you find the right woman who agrees with that, that's on you.
Sister wives, you know, take care of the nation. And plus, there's more women than men in the world. Meaning there's going to be a lot more single use than us, so it's okay.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. But I'm so secure in myself where I'm kind of like, this is me we're talking about. How am I not enough?
That's crazy. Hey man, to be or not to be. Is Revay enough? So, in talking of enough, we're talking about, you know, enough creeps, enough confident guys with DMs, the difference and how you distinguish. So you're saying you go and stalk them like a creep. So
I don't recall saying that I stalked them.
Yeah, man, you say, I'll go to your page. So you stalk. So
the same way they found me on my page. I wouldn't say they were stalking me.
Probably
but I go to your page and like, you know, I just check out your vibe, like what you're about. And like from people's pages you can really tell like if you're like gonna talk to me weird and ask me for like.
From people's pages you can tell.
Yeah.
People lie though.
No, but like just, I don't know.
Social media is a flipping hoax.
That's the thing. Obviously, I'm not going to say I can tell who you are as a person from your social media.
Can't you though?
No.
That's interesting. I mean, some people try and like, obviously you portray some image of yourself.
Okay, like if you looked at my TikTok or my Instagram, did you think like you knew me as a person?
I thought you were flipping weird, man.
Exactly.
But
and now you met me.
Your page does seem quite personal. It doesn't look like, you know, you look like the kind of person that thought too much about it. So you seemed quite like free. I wouldn't say careless, but open.
I mean, it is quite personal, but at the same time, it's personal as in I only show what I want to show. Like parts of me I want to show.
That's fair enough.
There's other parts of me where like I'm not going to make a video about that.
That's fair enough, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So you really won't know me unless you get to know me.
And do you think that's the same for gents? Because like some girls, it's like, you know, you.
It's even worse for gents.
And there's 0 posts.
I was about to say it's even worse for gents because you guys basically don't post anything.
Yeah, man, what do you want us to post?
Tell us about, you know, your little dog. How many siblings do you have? I'm trying to
dog?
have this info before I meet you.
Leave my dog out of it.
So that I come in prepared.
It's a bit weird.
If I see you have a dog, then I meet you and I'm like, oh, you know, my favorite dog's like a German Shepherd.
Don't kill me.
Then he's like, I have one. Really? No idea.
Fair enough. And how do you think for girls? Do you think their social... I mean, I won't lie, man. Social media, I think, shields us from a lot. Like, you don't get to see people's level of crazy because people can control it and contain it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of weirdos on social media. We look normal, but then like we dive a bit deeper.
But also, in Euphoria, not to bring it up again. No. Okay, but listen, there was an episode where Fizz was saying, he was explaining to Lexi, he was like, he doesn't like seeing people's social media before like he gets to know them. Because it's kind of like you already make your judgment before you meet the person.
You do as well.
Exactly. But sometimes what you are seeing, your opinion, isn't actually what that person is.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told I look better in person on social media. I don't know how to take that. Is that an insult or a compliment?
How would you like to take it, good? We'll take it how you want to
No,
take it.
no. Explain that. What does that mean?
Wait, repeat what the person said. Repeat it.
You look so much better in person.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean like? Because I mean, I've heard that with
that doesn't mean
guys.
that you look bad on your social media.
So I reverse catfish them.
Yeah.
So it's like, why did you look?
I mean, they're not saying that you looked bad on your social media. They're saying you look a lot better.
So it's like you didn't capture what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So
you didn't capture the essence of who you are.
So it's like I should have taken 500 selfies instead of 3 and chosen.
You should have done the girl method. Take 500, pick 2.
But then I find with girls, you know, they look better on socials than in real life. So what's that about?
Is that what you're saying about me?
No, I didn't say anything about you. I said girls. If you're a girl, I mean, I thought you're a lady.
He's like, a certain girl I know.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, with girls, I don't know. I mean,
you don't think girls look better on social media than in real person?
It depends on the girl.
Nah, don't lie.
Okay, in the world we're in now, where there's Facetune and editing and all that stuff, some people might want to look a certain way.
6s look like 10s, Revay, don't lie. Then in person, they're really a 4. And you're like, that's a bit much.
I mean,
because everyone
it's your
can get
page.
attention nowadays.
You can really look how you want to look. But I feel like it's better to be honest with someone. You can post pictures like that, but if someone's like, hey, I'm trying to link up, whatever, be like, probably, you know, I don't really look like that most of the time.
But no one ever says. I think it distorts. I think with girls, like you mentioned before, it's easier to solicit attention. But especially for guys, because like most guys will date all girls. But
is that true?
Yeah, I think most girls are dateable.
Really?
You don't really have to be outstanding in anything.
Actually, I heard something the other day. Someone told me that I'm universally attractive. And I said,
Most ladies are.
No, and I said, what does that mean? And he was explaining that there's girls who are kind of like, if she's dating someone, the guy's like, oh, but she's pretty to me. And then there's girls where it's like, we can all agree,
regardless,
she's pretty.
She's a looker.
Yeah.
Well, yes, that's true. I mean, because at the end of the day, you know, most guys can't get attention the way girls do. Your average guy and your average girl want the same.
Guys have to use their personalities more.
Yeah.
Because even a hot guy who's boring, like, what am I supposed to do with that?
It's true. A hot guy who's boring, a person who's arguably better looking than you, will still have to compete.
Especially like I'm
attention.
really like a conversation person, so you can really look as good as you want to look, but if the conversation isn't there, I'm not. So I gotta
go. And how
go.
do you think people's like social skills have been impacted? Do you think people are less social nowadays?
Impacted by like social media? Or?
Yeah, like do you think have you found that people are able to engage in conversation better or worse?
It depends on the person, I think. Like there's some people who can post the funniest TikToks every day, but when you meet them in person, they're so shy and they struggle with like having one-on-one conversations with people. But it's the same thing I was saying, like it's one thing talking to your phone, and it's another thing talking to a person.
You're right.
But some people, it makes them more confident. Like I think I got more confident because of social media.
Oh, so it helped you with that as well?
Yeah. And also you make more friends, you know.
Friends.
No, but I've made like a whole bunch of friends from social media.
What, so you've met up with all the people or you just keep conversation on
Some of them I've met up with them, some of them aren't, you know, in the country. But yeah, you start talking, become friends. Hopefully one day you meet them. But yeah.
That's okay, that's fair enough. And then do you think in Zambia we're taking to it? Or what have you seen?
You think in Zambia what?
We're taking to social media. Like are we...
Zambia's a weird one. Because the whole Christian nation thing,
True.
It's kind of like a bit, again, depending on what you're seeing on your social media.
Yeah.
Because for my page, I'm assuming most people wouldn't have a problem with it. But if you find another creator who's there, like, you know, posting videos about like, you know, nudity and how they support being nude and like, you know, like, obviously then like, somebody's gonna knock on your door and be like, hey babe, we don't do that around here. But yeah, I think it depends. Really, on what you're posting. Some people take to social media well in Zambia, some people don't. I mean, a good example would be like people like Iris. Some people take to her very well. They're like, I love Iris. Other people are kind of like,
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting one because obviously right now it governs our lives. It's like trends and everything. What people want to be like, what they want to look like, what they want to eat, they want to wear,
Yeah.
where they're gonna go out. It's like, oh, okay, social media trend, okay. And it's like, oh, let me hop on this trend, do the dance. Yeah,
Let me just hit the wall,
exactly.
maybe get like cool 500 likes.
You know? But then, I mean, I don't know. I feel like people are a bit more desperate for attention. It's sad because, you know, having conversations with real people when you meet them in person, or like you go to a party and everyone's on their phone, and you're like, what the flip was the point?
You and I experienced that.
We did. Like, what was the actual point?
What was the actual point?
Oh,
I was stunned actually that day. I really was like, are we really here for a party and we're all sitting on our phones?
Like,
it's a bit crazy,
that's
guys.
mad.
Maybe let's talk.
Exactly.
Let's dance. At the most, let's drink, guys. Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
it shouldn't be like your main focus, which is why I try my best not to have social media as like a job, because I feel like it's just going to take over my whole life. Like everything I do, if I'm at a restaurant, I'll be like, oh, I need to take a picture of this so I can post it because it's my job.
right.
Or I'm out with my friends, I can't just have my phone down and enjoy myself. I have to take a video of this because it's my job. Sometimes I just want to enjoy the moment without thinking about posting it.
But then, like, do you have any advice for those people who are a bit insecure and sort of find solace in social media, particularly teenage girls? I know, like, right now, girls going through adolescence, you know, you have that struggle with self-worth.
Yeah.
And so when they're posting a picture, they're obviously trying to, like, validate themselves. So it's not necessarily that they want the attention, but it's like they want to be valued, or, you know.
But that's a bad thing.
Yeah. So
It's not a good thing at all.
So what would you say to your little sisters then?
I would say like, okay, it doesn't make sense for you to look for validation from other people on what you think of yourself. Because it's your opinion.
Right.
So how are you looking for other people to tell you what your opinion of you is? Because if you put 5 people here and they look at your face and you walk out and we say, draw what this person looks like, you're going to have 5 different pictures.
Very true.
So really, you just have to decide for yourself. Like, if you think you're hard, you're hard. It really is all just based on opinion.
So is that what you would tell younger you?
Yeah, definitely. Because I spend a lot of time comparing myself, especially being at an all-girls school. Like, you spend a lot of time comparing yourself to the girls who are getting more attention from boys, the girls who are, like, you know, seen as prettier than other girls. And you're like, I don't look like that, so why? Clearly, I'm not pretty because I don't look like her. But then you grow up, you start to realize, luckily, that we can all be pretty and not look the same.
Wow.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
serious.
Album
comparison
dropping
is a
soon.
thief of joy. And there's a lot of pretty girls who don't know.
Yeah.
Or at least haven't. I mean, I don't know. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So you find there's like a lot of pretty girls, but if they don't fit the global standard, then...
And that's why social media, I think, for kids, like, kids shouldn't be exposed to a lot of social media at one go. Yeah.
So if you had your own kids, what age would you let them go?
On like Instagram and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe like 16.
13 is a bit young, yeah. 13 is dangerous.
13 is very dangerous. You're still very like, literally any single thing you see, you'll be 13 now talking about, I want a BBL.
True. And there's girls who like have anorexia at that age.
Exactly. Because now you're thinking, you're like, oh, my this isn't that big, my this isn't that big, my thing is too big compared to hers. And you're like, but you're 13, you're still growing. But they don't have, when you're 13, you think that is the end of the world. You think where you are in your life right now is where you're going to be for the rest of your life.
You're still a kid.
Yeah, so you're like, you can't grasp the fact that you're still growing and like things are still going to change.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Any last words to friends, family, fans, whatever?
Friends, family, and fans. All of them.
Either or.
Just be good people, guys. Treat yourself good, treat the earth good, treat the people around you good. Am I supposed to look at them? This is very personal now, it's just me and you. Forget kun.
Yeah.
Be nice to people. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to the earth. And we'll all be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers for that.
No problemo.
Who doesn't swear?
He has a potty mouth.
No, man. That's
He
crazy.
cusses.
I'm brushing my teeth. What are you talking about?
With soap? Definitely not.
Two hours later.
Guys, this is Culture Kun. You should like, you should subscribe. You should also comment on the video. For me though, not for him. I was the cool one here. So, I'd really appreciate it if you did that. Watch again. Watch the other videos. We also did a spoken word the other day. You should probably look at that one. It was pretty cool. I was there again. Cool one. You can watch it. So yeah.